I used to have, but
Figured it out. We're all fixed now. Everything should be fine. My phone was stuck and it wouldn't rotate, and then YouTube wants it in this angle. Okay, whoever's video is, make sure you like that video. Okay. Going in the village. My gimbal's a little slow. And Karl will join us in a minute. It's probably all his fault. But let's see. Okay. Now we can go outside. How are you doing today? Okay, just a second. Would you need Pavel? Say hi to Pavel.
Linen too.
He's working hard behind the scenes. Here, they can look that way while you talk linen. Let's see. Yeah.
I found something which looks like old mattress.
Yeah, they were mattress covers, but
Yeah,
if it looks
yeah.
like that, go ahead and use it.
Yeah.
And then it's no problem to cut it up. Yeah. Okay. So, look how pretty today is. Karl's here today too, in the village. He's just sorting his beer. Ta-da! So pretty today. Quiet though, because all the Easter Vikings have gone home. We have about 3 houses, I think, that are still out and about. And then there's a whole bunch of students coming tomorrow. And then behind, ta-da! And I was talking to Jay von Altengart. If you haven't seen, he has a beer page on YouTube. He's super excited because he's going to be staying in. He was going to stay in this house, but now he's going to stay in that house. So he's super excited. And he's going to brew beer in there, and I think it'll be mead, and I think it'll be just the perfect size for him. Let's see. James is here. He's working on a Billum knit sweater. Oh my God, that's going to take some time. Good on ya. And then Raymond is here. He's staying awake. Albert is here. He's in Norway. Raymond, by the way, is in upside down land. Still waiting for that mountain to arrive. And James, I forget exactly where you're from. Karen, on Tuesday, Albert says, I handled a package that is going to Viking Valley. Yay! We got a lot of stuff coming. By the way, look what I did this week. I broke a tooth in my sleep. So I should be wearing a mouth guard apparently, because the only way I can think of that I did that is by grinding my teeth. But it's not solely that. If you're old enough to have silver looking fillings in your teeth, they expand after 30 years. That's what happens. So they were slowly expanding. There was a crack anyway, and it finally exploded, so to speak. And I woke up with I thought it was a rock in my mouth, and it was my tooth. So got to get that fixed. See if I can get an appointment next week. So if I'm doing this a lot, I'm not being judgmental. I'm just, yeah, or I could have bit something in my sleep. I don't know what in the heck I did. It was probably Karl. I wonder what I probably bit Karl in his sleep. I'll ask him if I bit him. He didn't tell me that I did though, but definitely grinded my teeth. But no, they when the fillings, they get old, the older ones anyway, the ones that's got fillings in the 70s and 80s, yes, I'm that old. They start to expand over time, and then they slowly kind of like explode your tooth. You get like little fissures and cracks, and it doesn't take much to finally knock it into gear. So this will be the 5th one I've had break over the last 7 or 8 years anyway. So I'm averaging about 1 a year normally, and it's been a couple of years since the last one, so I was due. But it was the first time I woke up with a tooth. Usually it's like on a sandwich or something, but this time it was in my mouth when I woke up. Arlene says, I throw my mouth guard out of my mouth while in my sleep. You know, I probably would do that too, but now I guess it's time to get fitted for one, so there you go. So now I look like this. Sexy, eh? Yada. We'll look at the houses now. And I'll catch up on chat while Karl figures out where we are. He's sorting himself a beer. But yay for the packages. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming in now, so that'll be fun. Amro is here all the way from Belgium. Nella is here from Finland. Torben is here from Lofthus in Norway. Hello from the carpenters. What are you guys working on? They're working on a library. Books and a vast expanding collection of vinyl. Oh yeah, you got a lot of records. Prude is here from sunny but cool Poland. I think that's kind of what we had today. You can see the sun is still, it's just gone behind the mountain now, but we had like pretty much cloudless sky. It's been nice. The Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights were out on Sunday apparently, or Monday I think, but we missed them. But somebody caught a picture on their way home anyway from the village, so they might have been just behind the mountains in view. You can see where it's up in every direction. We haven't been outside in a while, so we kind of have to show this stuff off. Yeah. Let's see, how else we got here? Prude is going to Vollen on Thursday. Really excited. Oh, that is like Viking capital of Europe. I'm excited to see what you find. You have to send pictures. PJ said, oh no, we already said this. Somebody, hi PJ, by the way, said something might have bit me in my sleep. Karl?
Yes.
We were talking about my sexy new look here. They want to know, did I bite anything in my sleep?
Nothing that I cared about anyway.
No, nothing that you cared about. It. See, he's okay. He looks just fine. So I'm doing this. I'm looking at him all knowingly today. Judgmental. What you got?
Beer.
What kind do you have? The Slogan oh, I have to turn it, that's right. There. Slogan Indian Pale Ale. That will be from the Trollbryggeriet. From Vakre Ville Norske Fjordar. Okay, we'll see how you like it. I'm still catching up on chat here. And then we can go sit. I don't know. We should go sit down there. I suppose he's using modern tools, so it's a bit noisy.
Yep.
We can go down.
I hope my microphone hasn't been active.
Have you been talking? Well, it's only within a distance. Has Karl been talking this whole time, making an ass of himself? I didn't get that far down in chat. Fillings expand. Oh, I have some that are 40 years old. Yeah, you're in my category there, pal. These are like from the 70s, some of these. Late 70s and early 80s. So yeah, they do it depends on the filling, but the kind that we used in the United States anyway, so maybe you got lucky. Let's see. No, I haven't. You have a wise owl look. And Ruddy says hello, hello. And Roger is here from Huntington Beach, California. Let's see, who else did I miss here? I saw, so Heidi Lisa is here. We put a nice picture of her brother on the cover. If you'll, I don't know if you've noticed it, but okay. So on the cover of the photo, the thumbnail anyway, there's like this wonderful axe target. And Rune is pointing at his axe, which is in the wall behind the axe target. So we thought that was a cute photo. What were you saying in your microphone that you weren't supposed to repeat?
Nah, nothing serious, but if it was on, they would have heard me going through the Freeman room, discussing the possible existence of baking paper in the Freeman room with Anna, going outside and having a cigarette, coming back in and stumbling in the bench and falling on my face. Anna wondering if I'm okay, and I would go, okay, it's a learning experience. Then I walk out right past Pavel and his power tools.
Yeah.
So it would be a kind of interesting sound picture if it was recorded.
I was just thinking, by the way, nice job. Smooth move, X-Lax. That's what we kind of say when you stumble into things. Where do you want to sit? We always sit over there.
There is something weird about most of our workers, and they're not turning on the light in that room.
Oh, she's not turning on the light either.
No, she's just like Louisa and Virginia.
Yep.
People who like to sit in the dark.
Yep, and so is Tamara's been sitting in the dark too lately. Everybody's sitting in the dark. The Spanish, the Polish, the Russians, They
know what the light switch is, right?
I don't know. I'm kind of concerned about that. Even Runa is, no, Runa's sitting in the dark too. See? They've invaded Norway. Maybe we sit over here. We haven't sat...
There might be some fire left in the fireplace.
Oh, if there's fire, yeah. I was going to say, we always sit over there, so... But now we have like pretty much the whole village. Look at the size of that cauldron. I love it. It's... Karl, stand next to it so we can measure. The thing is huge. I think that Georg had that specially made, didn't he? Now you can see how big it is. Raymond says he can't sit in the dark. I need light for Nalbinding. I am completely on his side. I actually had the last 2 days off, Thursdays and Fridays off at work, but I was doing painting, little teeny tiny canvas paintings about that big, the gold foil figures. I should show those one day. I think I have. Anyway, I can't. We have horrible lighting at home, as you've seen, so I actually came in to work with them and painted. Yeah, you do have a little fire. Do you want to keep it going or do you want to let it die?
We are going to be here for close to an hour, so I'm
Yeah.
going to put some more wood on it and see if I can liven it up a bit.
All right. This is going to be, okay, fine. Heidi's got a great idea. I'm going to go check him out. While Karl figures out if he can blow some life into that log. You heard me. Yeah, so Heidi was asking, what are svarten och gråtas? Svarten means the black one. Gråtas means the gray one, or blackie and gray-y. Anyway, there are sheep. We still have some of the wool from last year. This is from Gråtas. That's probably about maybe a little less than half of the wool that comes off of him. I have to bring some home and work with it. So they have free range behind this house, that house, and a little bit more in each direction. Nothing wrong with sitting in the dark, says Pruda. They've affected the Polish too. Your microphone may or may not work because you're getting farther away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, we should have some sheep. They are old Norwegian short-tailed landrace, and they are about, there's one, 1 month away from being sheared-ish. So that means this is probably about 11 months growth on here. Hi, you want to come say hi? I don't have any food for you. He's just looking at me like, why no food? There we go. His horns are getting longer. I don't know if you've noticed it, if you've been keeping track anyway, because we got them in 2018. They were 1 year olds. Doing the math, they are, what, about 8 years now? In March. Yeah, are you 8 years old? He's just looking at me. But this is Gråtas. So he started out looking gray, like, I don't know, just like some regular gray yarn that you find anyway, but he's been going slowly more and more white. And then last year, his face was really brown, maybe for a little bit over last year. No food, no. They are really, really well-fed sheep, by the way. I noticed that the birds have made a little nest behind him there. Do you see them? They keep flying in and out of there. And there's another one up on the door. I've always been seeing birds fly here, but I didn't realize, oh, they're doing something fun. It kind of looks like my cats when they're fighting for the same area. Maybe that's bird porn. Karl, I think we're watching bird porn. It looks like the chickens when they're getting busy. Yeah, but I didn't notice that, but I think they're actually living in that little dirt pile next to him. Do your sheep keep their tails? Yes, these ones are, actually they are Old Norwegian short-tailed landrace, which is the name for Gammelnorsk spellsow. If he turns around, it's kind of hard to see, but he always likes to poop for me when I try to film him. Hi, your hair's really getting white this year. You gonna come say hi? Then I have to zoom out again. There you go. You wanna say hi? Can I pet you today? Yeah, do I get to pet you? You're gonna let me? To go easy so he doesn't headbutt me. Can I pet you? No? We're not up for that yet? Oh, the gimbal looks scary. He's thinking about wanting to headbutt me, but he can't. I have a fence. Now that stare is pure untamed evil. Oh, he's not the evil one, but he is the alpha. Beta is hiding in there behind him. You can see his horns if I can get him. See, there's his horns sticking up there. There he is. Hi, Gråtas. There's Svarten. There he is. He's hiding. He hasn't been black for a long time, although he never was a true black. He had a very dark gray, and then little bits of brown in him. I like that it looks like he's got, his lip is kind of like curled up, but it's not growling, but it looks like a dog that's growling. But I think it's just stuck on his tooth, because they don't growl, they headbutt. Barely contained, chaotic evil under a layer of wool, says Torben. That's right. He is. It looks like he's showing his teeth like a dog, but he's not. They're just, it's kind of like, let's see if I turn that. It's kind of like this. Which is really good if you have a hole. How you doing? That's what he's doing anyway. Hey, you want to come out and play? No, he'll come out again when I have some fresh grass for him. Right now they've got hay and they've got filling, but they'll be out and feeding soon because if you see there, the grass is just starting to grow. Heidi thought that was cute. Torben says, I bet they walk around on two legs when nobody's looking at night. Oh, you know they do. It's like the far side come to life over here. But look how fluffy he's gotten. But yeah, they're extremely well fed, these sheep. The guy that comes and cuts their hair, cuts their wool, shears their wool, reminds us every time that they're eating very, very well. You get all the hillbillies excited if you keep doing that. I'm going to go see how it works on Karl. You want to say hi again, Grotas? Come here. You want to say hi? I don't have any treats for you. I'm sorry. Next time. But your face, his face is almost gone like completely snow white. It was really, really brown last year, like tan. Yeah, he's a good guy though. I'm looking forward to his more wool. Let's see. Okay, we'll go find Karl. Say bye. If I can come out here without falling down. This is my little path where I'm in. There's a fence all around. Karl, how's your fire going? Did you blow some life into your log? Oh, look at Liga's been working on the garden. She's planting woad and some other things that we can use in the village to color with. This little one on the side is actually a weed, though. That one's called maricopa, which is lady's mantle, and you can also dye wool with that. Or dye yarn. And that one there is stinging nettles, and you can definitely dye wool with that too. And that's the one you can also use the plant fiber to make cordage. But they will grow much taller right now when the leaves are like this, by the way. There. When it's like this, these leaves are perfect for making teas or soup. For example, if you want a little bit of iron in your diet, you can also take the leaves like this and then dry them out and powder them and whatever. Sprinkle it on your eggs. Really, really good. But when it starts going to seed, the taste is no longer there. When it starts to get these little flowers and seed type thing, then it's better to just make cords with it or plant dye with it. But this looks like woad that she has. I think those are the remaining woad plants that were in there from when Lila planted them. But that looks cute. I'm glad she's working on it. Karl?
Yes.
Let's see. Are you ready for it now? Okay. I'm gonna do this to Karl. Let's see. How you doing?
I have no idea what you are. Just
Oh, come on.
you're a weirdo.
Where are you going? They told me I'd be perfect at a redneck party. And you blew some life into your log.
Yeah.
Karl's a Viking today. I'm not. I was in the office today. Let's see. I got to catch up some more on chat here. Albert says they are great alarm clocks in the morning. The rooster is dinner. Oh, yeah. I think we have 4 roosters now, but so far they're being nice to each other. Yeah. You can hear Karl. Okay, I hope, by the way. I didn't know how that would go if I went in and out of range of him. Let's see.
Can you hear me when I speak normally at this distance?
I should be able to anyway. I think I'm going to back up a little bit because I don't want to start the gimbal on fire. There we go. Okay, then I can catch up a little bit more. Torben says, I will open your chest and feed on your kidneys, mortal. That was the look Rotas was giving him. Mm. He gave the look like, what do you mean? Oh, yeah, they're going to Karl open the beer. Pick it up. Yes, they can hear you, Karl. That's good. Okay, because it's a nice to... I'm sitting about 4 feet away from him, I think. How much would that be in meters?
1/3, approximately.
Yeah. So there you go. But it's nice to be able to get you with the whole fire. Yeah, so I'm glad they can hear you. That's nice. I like these microphones. You can eat them too, but wear gloves when picking. Absolutely. Yeah, it's the leaves that will sting. If you just touch the stem, you're okay, but They are starting to pop up everywhere, the stinging nettles. You can see there's some along the fence there, and some around behind Karl. Let's see. Also the wall behind him, way back there, those also get them growing on them all over the place. But
The
they're
ones
quite
back
nice.
there has to be eliminated with extreme prejudice.
Should do it now then. Seriously, pick them, tie them in a bundle, and dry them out, and we'll use them for something later. But pick them now while they're young, because they're gonna grow like mad.
Yeah, no, but every time you try, some textile lady springs out of the woodwork and says, "Oh no, it's raw material."
That's not this textile lady. Which one are you thinking of?
Any one of them.
No.
We have like 72 of them here.
But the behind
Not all of them are
behind the
virgins.
fence, behind the archery, I mean.
Uh,
Yeah, no, pick all you want. We've got lots. It grows on all of those fences behind the village there, on both sides of it. And no, we got tons. You can pick that, and you can see there's even some growing. There is some stinging nettles. That actually might be Maricopa anyway, but they, hi. We're looking at nettles. It's an Anna. Say hi.
I just picked them up to eat them.
Yeah, I was gonna say now's the perfect time. Yep. If you really want, you can grab the ones by the wall here because all the tourists step on them and they're not very happy when they're wearing shorts and they do that. But yeah, no, you can pick them. I usually run around and pick these ones here and I just throw them in a pot and color with them
I have to say, we keep hiring weird foreigners.
because she likes to eat the nettles.
She likes to sit in the dark and eat nettles.
That's the one that was sitting in the dark with you. Oh yeah. No, I don't mind the nettles in a soup with a lot of butter or something, but otherwise I have to.
Okay. For an
I dry
IPA,
them and
this
put them on
isn't
there.
half bad.
No, you like it? He's using my cup today, by the way. Notice the lack of glass. Karl's a little bit lost. So, what kind is it? A stout? No, it was an IPA, wasn't it?
Yep.
Indian Pale Ale. And do you think Torben, he usually likes Pale Ale. Do you think he should have that?
I think he probably would like it, but this is an IPA that I like, and I don't normally like them.
No.
So whatever he sees in the things is not something I see. So he might not agree with me that this one is good. He might think this one is too un-IPA-like.
Too un-IPA-like? How can an IPA be un-IPA?
How can a bear taste like raspberries?
A beer or a bear? Because there's a difference, and I want to know how you know what the bear tastes like.
Both of them can taste like raspberries, and none of them should.
Actually, bear meat is really good, though. But you have to slow cook that sucker forever. It's super dense. Let's see what else we got here. Brutus says, Hector says the garden is a good start, but there aren't nearly enough plants in it. No, they're still planting. She just came with the seeds today. So I think those are the ones that she managed to rescue from last season. But they're on their, I think their 4th year, those Wodno. So they're a 3-year plant.
At the end of the day yesterday, she was digging a hole up by Roger's light pole in the chieftain's, next to the chieftain's house.
Yeah, so she's planting, she's digging earth next to Roger's light pole. Okay, that sounds good. No, actually, she got 5 bags of soil and they're doing little gardens here and there. And it's a job that nobody wants to do, but when you find someone that does do it, you just throw dirt at them and some seeds and say, have at it, which is what we did. She's very happy now. Liga's from Latvia, lives in Poland, but she's been here for about 2 years now. Well, she was here before the pandemic, and then she was one of the guides that couldn't come back during the pandemic because we didn't have anybody that spoke anything other than Norwegian or English. And then, so she finally was able to come back last summer, and then she was here all winter and this summer too. So hopefully we'll have them here for quite a while now. My Melissa McCarthy game is strong with that cheeky smile, says Nolvia. That's right. What's up, Karl? Huh? How you doing? Give us a kiss. Break your teeth's neck. Are you sure? You sure I didn't bite anything in my sleep to cause my tooth to break 2 nights ago? Okay,
I think I would have noticed.
Yeah. Okay, so nothing important at least, anyway.
And the things that are within biting range for you would be me or Fussy.
By the way, when we were sound checking you, Anne Moreau says, I'm nodding that I can hear him, but he probably didn't notice it. That was cute. Enough Belgian beer and he would have, I gotta say. Let's see, there's more here. PJ's dinner tonight was lion's mane fried in butter with 3-cornered leek with American cress, hairy bittercress, fat hen, and a load of butterhead leaves. I'm no longer thinking that other people have a weird diet. That one's an interesting one. Lion's mane, fried in butter. I have to look that up. I'm assuming that's the name of a plant because I'm just wondering how did they let you take the mane of a lion and I have to look it up.
Poaching is illegal, but shaving is probably fine.
Yeah, they don't have lions and eagles. Well, the one that she would find them in England, they'd probably be not so encouraged to touch those lions if it was a zoo one. Nella says, usually any person, specifically women, like eating nettles has an iron deficiency. That is exactly the reason why I dry some and sprinkle it on the eggs or something, because I have iron deficiency. All the women in my family do. Did you use the seeds I gave you? Yes, we did, actually. Hi, it's an Elisa. Now you gotta wave. La, la, la. She's back from Holland.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. He's just like, why, woman? Oh, he does. He calls me woman. I was explaining it to because Anna, the one that you were talking about, she thought it was kind of funny when you said you called me woman in the hallway. I should have brought those figures out. Okay, so I have this painting I like to call Naked Karl. It's basically a Viking doing a Slavic squat. He's completely nude, and he's got a really, really, really long... Nilna sent a picture of the lion's mane, but I'll have to check it out after because I don't have the computer with me today. But anyway, so he's got a long beard, even longer than Karl's, and he's grabbing it. Could you do the Naked Karl pose? It's taken from a gold foil figure or something. I can't remember what. Okay. Naked Karl pose. Yeah. And then that's just like that. And there's one where he doesn't have hair on his head. He's completely bald. And there's one where he has a helmet on his head, and you like the one with the helmet. But my boss put in an order because this company that we get our rock carvings with, soapstone carvings, based on finds anyway, he has a lot of things that are not quite based on finds, like little bunnies and owls and things, but we don't get those for the village. But he's retiring. This is his last year, so it was last call to get him. We bought everything we had it, and I think that she just basically said, give me anything that's a Viking related. And we got suns with like the points all the way around it and smiley faces on it. Those are being rejected. 2-headed axes, which we used to have in the shop until we realized that Vikings didn't have 2-headed axes.
Oh, we've always known that.
Yeah, we've known that now, but I mean, the person who was ordering them in the shop didn't.
No,
They sell really well, but we can't have them in the shop. So, but anyway, so those we just sell to the hotel over there at cost. It's fine. They'll go like mad. But then we found out one of them was basically torso up. So basically we have to neuter Karl, cut him off at the midsection there, and have him grab onto his beer, and it's Naked Karl figure. But it looks a lot like Gollum too, because it's not the one with the helmet on, it's the one that's bald, and he's got like these pointy little ears, and Gollum. So we have little Naked Karl statues. I have to figure out how much they cost. I have to take a picture next time. Remind me. Let's see. Oh, yeah, but we were talking, that's right, we were unpacking all of these stone figures and things that we got. Some are Viking ships, some are an axe pendant, some is a wolf cross. There's a lot of rune stones that are copied, and some dragon heads, things like that. But anyway, I don't know what it was I asked you. Oh, yeah, I asked you if you could do the Naked Karl pose, and the first thing you said was, why, woman? And then they were laughing because they couldn't figure out why they didn't realize woman is sort of an offensive term the way you use it. You just, I don't have a name, I'm just woman. So I had to explain that one to him.
You get to have a name when you don't ask me to do stupid shit.
Man. Man doesn't work though. It doesn't have the same ring
remember
to
the
it.
last 2 times I've called you a woman in this village, and people have reacted to me being slight bit misogynistic.
The British guy who's usually more misogynistic than you are.
Yeah,
Not
that was
Greg.
when you and him walked over, and you turned to me and said, maybe we should try the poly lifestyle. And I say, I don't think so, woman.
I didn't say maybe we should try the poly lifestyle. I said, should we try the poly lifestyle? It was something Mick said anyway, and I was laughing at him, so I kind of I forget what it was. So I said, hey, Karl, want to try the poly lifestyle? And Mick was laughing, and Karl's got this look of utter confusion because he wasn't in earshot for the first part of the conversation. Obviously, I'm joking. I'm quite happy with just Karl. Naked Karl with the beard. Okay. I have this picture of an actual naked Karl, says Torben, in slightly different pose, though. Yes, we haven't told this story in a while. Would you like to tell the story of naked Karl? The one that Torben's talking about? He has a picture.
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell it. It's been a while. We have to tell this story like every 3 months.
It's Vemund that kind of fucked me over on this one. I have a tendency to make stupid challenges and bets when I'm drunk. And here is the way my brain is working.
Just Karl.
Torben at this time is walking around with crutches. He's just had an operation in his leg, so there's no way he's going to run. Vemund is Vemund. He's a lazy person, and it's very unlikely that Vemund would run for any reason whatsoever. So that leaves the 2 girls that were with us. So I drunkenly come up with the idea that, hey, we are at Turtagrø Tourist Hotel when this happens. I point at a little hill we can see from the window, and I say, if anybody can run down to that hill and back up again, I will do the same run with 1 item of clothing less. So the way I'm thinking is, okay, if one of the girls take the challenge, then at least I get to see a pair of tits, and I don't mind running naked after that. But Vemund, being the super analytical bastard that he is, goes back to his room, takes his boxers off, puts on a pair of jogging pants, and then he waves his boxers while he runs past me, drops them on the ground, and just runs down to the hill with 1 item of clothing. So I have to do the same run with no items of clothing. I was talking to the hotel director when this happens. And I basically go, I see an out, I see an opening to get out of it. So I turn to the hotel director and says, well, I made this challenge, but you are the one that kind of have to live off tourism here. So what do you say? And he says, poof, if you say A, you have to say B. So I had to take that on. There was a bunch of Asian people, I believe they were Japanese, but I don't know for sure, that were staying on the 2nd floor. And when I come back to the hotel, I see the entire facade of the hotel light up with flashes from cameras. So somebody woke up the Japanese and told them to look out the window. Clearly. I wonder who that was, Torben.
Torben, are we feeling guilty? If you have to say A. I don't think anybody could handle more than a Karl. Raymond says, oh my God.
I don't think anybody could
Albert
handle
said,
more than a Karl.
dot,
That's
dot,
either a
dot.
really good compliment or it is some kind of weird insult I don't understand.
I could handle more than a Karl. Oh, you're going to have nightmares. Nolvia says, oh, gasp, I believe she actually clutched a few pearls in that one. Peruta says the Japanese are not afraid of random naked men doing strange things in the middle of the night. How do you think Peruta knows this?
Clearly not. So in a lot of family albums in Japan now, there are old women going through, and this is the picture of the weird guy we met in Norway.
Usually like to take pictures of you and represent you as if you were family.
Not that picture, I'm pretty sure.
Let's see. So somewhere, says Albert, there's a bunch of photos of naked Karl in Asia.
Naked Karl Turtagrø, yes.
Yeah, but the
But
naked
the
photos
pictures,
are in
the
Asia.
physical
Yeah.
pictures are in Asia.
Uh-oh.
This was
Yeah.
back in the very early 2000s, I would say 2003 maybe.
Yeah. Let's see. Balance right there a bit.
So their cameras were probably not digital, so it's probably on actual film.
Yeah. Maybe. By the way, Torben says, no, I was on crutches. So how could you think that I ran through the second floor shouting, naked Viking outside? So, yeah, I think Torben makes a pretty good point.
It might not have been him. Which leaves Vemund as the primary suspect.
Vemund is the primary. I could see Vemund doing it.
Could also be Beata, but I think Beata was preoccupied.
What was Beata doing?
Looking at my penis.
With a camera or without a camera?
I don't think she had a camera.
Torben says, I used the emergency intercom. Oh, I like it when you try to make the beer come out of Karl's nose. The hotel director asks Anne, maybe it was him?
Might have been, if he wanted a new attraction for his hotel.
I was going to say, Max has been on a cruise recently. My cruise turned out okay. The thing I hated was the customs at the airport. I felt Ethel Custom was pushing my buttons to the very point where I feel irritated and frustrated. Tell me your favorite customs story, Karl, because you get stuck, not on the way out of the country, you get stuck on the way into the...
I got stopped both ways.
Yeah.
But it's mostly because I'm an idiot.
And what did you do this time on the way into England that got you stopped?
I forgot, I used the same bag as I use when I go back and forth to Senja. And I forgot to empty it. So there was a box of iced coffee in the bottom of the bag.
Mm-hmm. The guy holds it up as the culprit, and he's looking at me, and you're just, Karl's looking there, I mean, with, trying to hold up his pants because his belt is, no belt is good enough for Karl. Anyway, and I'm just kind of going, oh my God, I knew it, you idiot. After all that I was trying to do to try to make sure I had no liquids in my bag. I bought a bottle of water that day, and I tried to keep the bottle of water because the Norwegian water bottles with the square top, they're actually a little bit more solid, so you can just keep refilling them and refilling them and refilling them. And I wanted to have it as a water bottle to use in England. But to make sure that they knew it was empty, I didn't want to dig it out of a bag or anything, so I just put it on the tray with my laptop and everything. And when everything comes through, the laptop and everything is there, but the water bottle is gone because I think they thought maybe I wanted to throw it away and they could help me out, and that was wonderful. But then I had to go through the rest of England with one of those little water bottles that are only good when they're full. When they're not, they're like paper.
The English make their water bottles out of hopes and dreams.
Yeah, no, the Americans too. They were really
very flimsy.
Yeah, but I did finally find a decent water bottle that on the way out of the airport. That really didn't help much though, from England. Different name or something. Blue moon over Turtagru tourist hitta, says Torben. Blue moon. I saw you standing alone. Anyhow. Albert says Norwegian pie and the Naked Mile. I like that one, the Naked Mile starring Karl Ordal.
The worst thing is that I don't learn.
No!
I am dumber than a loaf of bread. So a few years later, I tried the same stunt.
Yeah.
I'm now drunk out of my bloody mind up at Studentheimen.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of students lived. It's like apartment building.
Yeah.
And I come up with the brilliant idea that I'll just make the same challenge again. And then there is this girl called Oda. She has nothing to do with the Oda that works for us. It's another girl with the same name. And she kind of leans over and goes, Karl, you are a Viking. You know what the tunic is, right? And I go, oh, holy fuck.
Uh-oh.
Because she has a tunic. And that's one item of clothing.
Oh.
So she runs down the hallway with just a tunic. And I run after her with nothing. And another
Chasing
girl
women?
comes in the door right then. That was, I didn't know it at the time, but that was the girl that later on became krovert at Meieriet. Basically, she was responsible for serving alcohol.
Yeah.
Benedicte was her name.
Like a hostess. but-
And I don't remember the context, but there is one point where I have to go and talk to her about something. Either something to do with the role-playing group that I was responsible for, or I had to get my card back, because when you put your card in the bar, they just keep it until you can come and get it from the Krovart, basically her job.
Yeah.
And then she just kind of dryly comments that, Karl, I saw you naked before I heard you say a word. Yep, no, that was true in her case.
You're pretty easy. You built a nice tall fire there. I was going to say we should walk around a little bit when you get that. I'm going to put this down again. There we go. We should walk around a bit when you're done with your beer there, so show off some more of the village, because we haven't been out all winter. And then last week you weren't here because what did you do, Karl?
What?
Why weren't you here last week on YouTube?
No, I went to Selja and I forgot about Good Friday being a very special day in Norway. So nothing bloody moves. So I couldn't get back to Gudvangen until very late Saturday. And then I'd been up practically traveling for like, say 6:50 from Selja to Bergen. Traveling for about 10 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe closer to 12. So I'm not in any way in the mood to come down here and do YouTube.
No.
So
No, you got home like literally about 1 hour before YouTube, I think. So it was
Yeah,
pretty
something
short
like
time
that.
anyway. So it would have been a bad idea. But there were so many people to, there was. Oh, I have to find some needle binding too while you're keeping talking, because I have to show. I couldn't show knoll binding last week either. There were so many kids and they were so fun. By the way, I got a few messages after that. I think Nikki's kid was one of them. Like, I want to go and stay in the village, Mom. That looks so cool. But seriously, if I was a kid, that would be a damn good time by the looks of that.
kids, particularly when we have Vlad,
Yep. Vlad, yeah.
he is bloody brilliant.
Yeah, he's really good. You want to tell him who Vlad is, by the way, the French guy? He just got a job here, by the way, last minute hire.
Vlad is a French fighter. And he is an actual honest-to-God fighter, not somebody who just runs around and waves swords around like most
sorry.
of the people around
There
here.
you go.
He knows what he is doing, and it's so funny to watch him fight kids, because he doesn't hold back at all, and he doesn't give them any free shots. He basically just murders them again and again and again, and I love it. He is really, really good. I'm not normally the guy who goes to bat for Freeman, but if you have to hire a Freeman, this is the one to hire. He's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, so tell us some more while I look for some yarn.
Hopefully we can get him to come in on YouTube at one of these days, because he is really, really impressive. And you won't hear me say that about a lot of Freeman, to put it mildly. He's not a HEMA guy. He is like more of a MMA type guy. To put it like that, he's like the perfect resisting opponent. Because he knows distances, he knows techniques, and he is very, very good. You probably haven't read much of the historical sources, but you don't really need to, because fighting is science more than it is art. So, yeah. Now, hopefully, we'll get the opportunity to film when he is here one time, so I can show you what I mean. My girlfriend is over there somewhere looking for wool,
I'm looking for
and I have to just drunkenly orate at the camera without being able to read the chat, so I have no idea what you're talking about. But that's a thing. It's one of my pet peeves, that we are not doing anything to represent fighting authentically. What we are doing is either we do the Western style, where it is super gentle and you absolutely under no circumstance hit anybody in the head. Or we do the Eastern style, where you just keep hitting the armor over and over and over again. Fighting is something different. And none of these things, they're good for training, but they're not good for representing what an actual fight would look like. But Vlad has these practice swords. Imagine something like a massive rolled up newspaper, and then you're pretty close to what I'm talking about here. So he doesn't go full contact, but he doesn't really have to pull back that much because they are so padded that he won't really actually hurt anybody. So I see him smacking kids over the head with them repeatedly all day, and the kids love it. Because that's part of the challenge. It's very hard to find a way to represent what a fight would actually be like, because in an actual fight, you would actually be trying to hurt or kill your opponent. So you have to come up with some kind of compromise where you can reuse your training partner.
Found balls.
Karen found her balls, so now I don't have to monologue anymore.
No, but you're doing well. But yeah, no, Vlad got a job. He'll be, I think, starting June 1st. So we're looking very forward to that.
Yeah. And there are so many French people now. It's incredible.
Yeah, no, but it's good though. I mean, 1 year you can't get any, and now you're drowning in them.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, the
French
tourists, yeah, no, the
tourists.
French tourism has gone up big time. Probably because of that guy's show.
In the winters, French
French
people
guy.
has been, I would say they are the single largest nation. English speakers outnumber them, but that's only because you have the Americans, the English, and the Australians together outnumber the French. But I think we have more French people than we have Americans, for instance.
Yeah, well, definitely. Well, as tourists, I'm not so sure
In the
about
winter.
that. In the winter,
yes.
it's pretty on par, yeah. Depends on the cruise ship. You got more Americans with the cruise ship, but the French come on
Yes,
their
but
own.
you have no cruise ships in the winter.
Not as many, no. You have...
You have like maybe 3 cruise ships all winter.
Yeah, yeah.
That doesn't change.
or like the
anything.
one that wasn't planning on coming to us, but had to because of bad weather. They got stuck in Olesund for like
Yeah,
3 days.
when that happens,
Yeah.
but that is a super unique black swan
That's
event.
very Black Swan event, yeah.
And then you get like 4 buses of Americans, but it still, I would say our most typical customer,
chat,
if
yeah.
I was to make a profile for our customers,
Yeah.
I would say that our typical customer is a French couple where the girl is 29 and the boy is 35.
Yeah.
That
that's
is what
about
I
right.
see over and over and over again.
But maybe it's a little bit to do with that French guy that did a documentary here, some travel
I
documentary.
think that is a big part
That was
of
a
it,
huge
yes.
one, yeah. That was filmed about 2 years ago. The one where you had 2 women. You had to have one on each
Yeah.
shoulder. You want to tell that story too?
It's
Carl
not
has
much
to
of
have
a,
a posse. He needs a harem.
it's not much of a story. They're just making B-roll. They're making the pictures that they're going to basically cut into the background when they're talking. And one of the scenes they wanted was me walking down there. But then one of them decided it was unnatural that I was walking alone. So he orders one girl to walk with me. And then for some reason he orders another girl to walk with me. Because obviously it's more natural that I have one girl on each arm than if I'm just walking alone. So I suggested to Toril that maybe to make me look more natural, I should have 2 girls every time I do a guided tour. She didn't agree with that.
Nah, that's too bad. And then there's Marie. Look at your man. Look at your man. Your man has 2 women. Look at your man. I'm like, well, you know, should we go poly, Carl? No, I'm just kidding.
No, woman.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. That's not the lifestyle for me. I'm too old-fashioned. Okay. There's some more. Let's see. Nope, a little bit further. Fireside chats with Carl. That's cute. I hate to ask, says Torben, but what is a veg package? And what is Niflheim?
A veg packet?
Yeah, you were talking about your veg package in Niflheim or something when I was in the house getting the
What
needle
the
binding.
hell?
In your story, somewhere in Niflheim, I think you said, but I don't know about the veg patch. I missed that.
I have not talked about veggies.
Apparently, you were presenting your veg patch to
I have
Torben.
not presented my veg patch.
Torben,
to
he's in
Torben.
denial, but don't worry, we're recording. Let's see. Oops, I keep bumping the gimbal when I try to scroll. Recently, says Max, I learned about the Hitra man, a 25 to 30-year-old man who lived in Norway at the very end of the Neolithic, transitioning to the Bronze Age. You know about that one, Hitra man?
No, I don't.
Oh, we have some homework to do. Okay, I don't know about that one either, but when we get Google, we can check it out and read up about it. It's a little bit before the Viking Age, though, so that might be why Karl's limited. He only
Yeah.
knows about Romans and the Viking Age and World War I and II.
No, I'm better than the average duck when it comes to history in general. But my strengths are Roman, Viking, and World War II.
Now, would this be a mallard, or what kind of duck are we talking? A loon?
I don't think there are any ducks that could match me on history in any period of time.
Challenge! Okay, we will find out. Meanwhile, tell us about the Hitra man.
Well, if it's a Neolithic find, I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
transitioning into Bronze Age. So
Yeah, I wouldn't know about it because it's outside of my scope. I would read what I find about this, but I don't
Yeah.
remember having read about this one.
no, I'll have to check it up. Albert says, one of the lands of the dead, I think Hel runes over it. Oh, Niflheim?
Yeah.
Yeah? Or are you thinking Helheim?
No, Niflheim is the land of fire, if I remember correctly.
I have no idea. Torben says, I thought that was Helheim. Yeah, see, Torben's on the same page as me. This is why I'm not a guide. And neither
Hel
he.
is
He's
in
just
charge of Helheim.
Yeah?
Niflheim is, the way I understand it, and I might be completely off my rocker here,
Yeah,
it's more of an elemental thing. You have a realm
Oh.
of ice and a realm of fire.
yeah.
And between those realms, you have the creation basically taking place when what's his face, the giant, is basically just born.
Albert says there is more than one realms for the dead. The Niflheim is the evil. See, I lost it again. Evil something. Evil one, I'm guessing. Is for evil me. No, I think this is evil me.
So evil Albert.
Evil
goes
Albert
to
lives in Niflheim. No, but is
And,
there the
no.
9 worlds or something like that?
Hmm?
Is there like the 9 worlds?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of the 9 worlds.
You want to explain what the 9 worlds thing is? Concept.
Uh,
Oh, we're getting into it.
the Yggdrasil, the tree of life, is kind of connected to all 9 worlds. So we live in Midgard. The gods live in Asgard. Midgard, Asgard, Niflheim, whatever the hell the cold one is called. And then you have some other ones with elves or whatever. This isn't really my field. So if you have a time Greg, you can rub this against him all day and he will answer you for like 45 minutes. But it's not really my thing.
No tame Gregs? No, we can get him onto that at some point. Let's see, catch up a little bit more on chat here, and then I can show some needle binding. Men, he's meant to say, not me, but men, where they go from where I read. Where they go from where I read. Okay. Raymond says, Black Swan event. We have black swans on the river here, so it's clearly an Australian thing. Yep. Okay.
No, Black Swan event is something that happens, but it is so rare that you can discount it.
Unless you're Raymond.
Unless
Because
you're
then you
Raymond.
just have to look at the river.
If you're Raymond, you just have to accept that Black Swans
So
are
if you're
fake.
Raymond, strange things are happening all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, got it. Like bunnies. Let's see. Pruda says, meat and 2 veg, male genitalia. It was talking about the veg pack.
I still have no idea what you're talking about.
No, but I
with the
can't wait to play it back.
I've never ever even considered growing vegetables in Niflheim.
Roberts is here, by the Robert Reynolds is here. I can speak. Sorry, it's the missing tooth. Not gonna make this one currently in the field, just passed my combat test and going to do some archery now. He's trying to hop a plane with a bow. Does anybody have any experience with that? He wants to go and shoot arrows on the range behind Karl there, if you see it.
Yeah, just
At the
take
archery bar.
just take the string off and call it a stick.
There you go. It's a good idea.
It's not that complicated.
I don't know. I never tried. I never tried to travel with a bow before. Let's see. I have to sit up properly. I'm holding this at a really weird angle and staring sideways at Karl. Let's see. There you can see the archery bar behind him. Okay. Sophia Clausen is here. Hi, sorry I'm late. Hi from Iceland. As far as I know, there are even more than 9 worlds. See, I don't know these things. But Sophie would know. She's really into that. I thought I lost my needle. Sorry, I was distracted for a second there. God forbid I lose a needle. Okay, it took me a while to find it. Anyway, she needs to come back here soon. Scrolling away. There we go. Raymond says, strange things are happening all the time. Definitely laugh out loud. Albert says, aren't there a new spider variant in Australia that is bigger? And then Raymond says, yes, I saw something about a new spider. Sophia says, I will come! I will. I think she's talking about Gudvangen, though, and not to the spider event in Raymond's backyard. Okay, so I went digging in the house, and I found the box with the needles in it. And I found some yarn. This is probably not the yarn I would demonstrate this stitch normally, but that's what we're going to do today.
I saw something cool
One is
today,
slightly
by the
thinner
way.
than the other. What did you see that was cool today, by the way?
You know Thomas.
She's talking about Niflheim. Ha ha ha, says Sophie. Yeah.
We had only 2 children in the village. They're being guided by Rune and they're way up there.
Sophia.
Otherwise, it's a dead village.
Yeah.
And Thomas is on archery and he's clearly bored out of his skull. So he just takes all the arrows and then he keeps moving further and further back. And I saw him hit the target from about where the weapon display is over there.
Yeah.
And I never
That's
thought
pretty far.
I never thought about Thomas as a great archer, but apparently he knows his shit.
No, that's pretty good. We had an archery contest last year. He did pretty well. We were standing like akin to that entrance sign there on the archery, and then shooting over the thing at the target, which was obviously too far back for me because I landed my arrows square between the C and the H on archery. But that's a dangerous thing we do. If we do that, we have to have this path blocked off so somebody doesn't just come.
Yeah, no, as
yeah.
long as you have overview, it's fine.
Yeah, for the archery contest we did, we had people standing along here to block it, and then some people over there too. Okay, let's see if I put this down. Is your beer going, Karl?
It's going down.
It's going
For
down.
an IPA, it's going down very fast, which I would be a little bit concerned about
But
if
that's
I
a
were
good
you.
thing. I would
Because
be
you have
concerned
to
about
feed
it.
me and put me to bed afterwards.
Yeah, that's just easy. I mean, let me tell you how I lost that tooth. You may have had a beer first. No, just kidding. Okay, so we got this yarn. Actually, I think this is some of the plant dyed yarn that the Liga made one year. It was starting to turn this pinkish color. And if it is, it's buckthorn. It started out yellow and it started going reddish.
Slogan is not so bad.
And because I was having issues finding my needles in the dark in there, I'm using one of these. And yes, you can use a darning needle to needle bind with. Then I have this other one that Virginia used during the pandemic. That was this bunch of this wool that we had got from Antoinette. But it's a bit thin to show this off, but that's okay, it'll do. So for this one, I think we'll go with the blue over the yellow since the blue is so big. Karl, your microphone's on, just so you know. That was his lighter, because he's an addict.
Yep. I'll
Okay,
try
so
not to mumble incoherently under my breath.
There you go. So now this one, let's see if I can remember how. I think we just did like that. Okay. So making a circle knot anyway, because I'm going to do a round start. I'm going to go with the blue over the yellow because the blue is thinner. So you need a core yarn. You can do it in the same color, actually. And if you do this with a plant fiber, it makes this really good basketry thing. Let's see. There we go. But this is simple looping that I'm doing. The only thing is we're doing it around a cord. And this was something from the Tybrind Vig find, but we're not calling it the Tybrind Vig stitch. So it's simple looping around a core. So I had to fix that one and get that corrected. Anyway, obviously because I'm starting a ring, I'm going in my ring. And then going around this one and over that one, so that when, or over the blue one, so that when I tighten it, it just makes a knot around that one. And then I can tighten my knot a little bit here. I should have started with a round start, but I didn't, so this will be a funky start. Okay, then same thing, you go into the work behind, which would be your next loop if you're doing a chain, around the gore, which is behind it in this case, and then over your blue yarn, your main yarn. This will work. I don't know what I'll get out of it, but you have to like, you have to tension it by eye. But that's all you're doing is basically doing simple looping, but you're going around around a core. The reason I chose yellow is that it would be easier to see, but you can actually do that intentionally, having two different colors, because it kind of gives it a cool look. It's a nice way to marry two colors together that maybe didn't go along together, in case you're a Norwegian and you're cringing at my choice of yellow and blue colors here, which might remind them too much of the Swedish flag. Meanwhile, if Lucas is watching, heja Sverige! That's it. There. So again, into your next loop. In this case, it's a core ring, and then around the core thread. And that's what this stitch is. We didn't show it last week because too many kids. But yeah. But the hardest part on this one would be tensioning it so that they're all somewhat even. Otherwise, that'll affect your work. Can the yellow yarn work in a ball of yarn instead of working piece? Absolutely, because it's just your core. So yeah, that's no problem. I just cut a piece of it, ripped a piece off. But yeah, you could definitely. Because the yellow yarn is never getting cut, you're just going around and around, kind of like a basket. And if you do this with plant fibers, you kind of are making a basket. Or a bag. But this, unfortunately, doesn't have a future. This one I'm using now, it's just a demonstration, because I forgot to bring my work with me. But this wool wants to, it's a little bit itchier than the other wool, so it really wants to take the yarn with it. So you have to make sure that that core yarn stays back. Which might have actually been easy, Max. If you had it in a ball, it might be a little bit easier because the weight of the ball would hold the yarn, the yellow yarn back, so you don't have to keep dragging it out. And I probably have way too many stitches for this to be a ring, but because I stupidly started as a knot, oops, I'm going off camera. Because I stupidly started as a knot, I'm unable to tighten my ring here to cinch it short, but I can pick out the knot and run a string through later. Okay, then I want to join to my next row, so if you see that loop is my next stitch. And then if I want to make this bigger, I would increase a little bit. Oops, pulled it way too tight. There. So I'll do two stitches. But yeah, around the core. I think I skipped the core last time. Bad girl. Like that. And then over. Yeah, I did. I think that last stitch, previous stitch, I skipped the core. Don't do that. And then, but I don't really like simple looping. It has a nice look and everything, but it's very time consuming because you kind of have to after tension everything. But it also has a bit of a stretch to it. It can go very quickly wavy. I don't know, and it can twist very easily, so I kind of don't like it. It twists a lot, but it's probably the way I'm doing it. But I'm not increasing it every stitch because I started with too many.
Hello.
Skull! Oh, we have some Freeman in disguise. Wait, I gotta put it up. Oops, it's turning the wrong way. It doesn't want to find you. Speaking of French guys that are getting hired, whoops, Jesus, my gimbal is not playing with me here. Wait a minute, you have to just stay until my gimbal decides how it wants to work. There, Vlad! And a Haralder behind him.
Oh!
So this is why French and Americans get along so well. No, so congratulations, Vlad! Yep, Karl was just giving you a major shout out earlier. Oops, there we go.
You want to throw some axes, Karl?
You want to throw some axes, Karl? We got a few minutes.
I'm mildly drunk, but
No
I can try.
excuse, no excuse. Okay, yeah, you got to do it because Isak's going to be looking for us to give us a ride home soon. Okay, I'll pick up my stuff, but yeah, simple looping around a core makes that stitch a bit more bearable.
Matter of fact, you want something to drink too while we're at it?
He's been drinking.
I've already had
Oh, that's good.
fairly powerful beer.
You had the beer degustation?
All right. How much percentage was that alcohol, by the way?
6.5.
Oh, do you mind not having the music on for 2 seconds? Because I might have like a copyright
But I
problem.
think I have this
Okay.
in my muscle memory, so I'll probably do
We're
Probably
drinking
do
60%.
60.
Yeah, 60.
Ooh!
Yeah, very good.
Score 1 for France. Torben says, last time I threw axes while drunk, I hit Bjorn's car and then I ran.
Oh yeah.
Score 1 for USA. All right, Norway.
No pressure. We're just having a good time.
Poland, you want to get in on this?
No. No.
You want to get in on this, Poland?
No. He can throw axes by himself. We don't need him making us look bad.
He can throw like 3 axes at once
Yeah.
without
Pavel
hitting
here is
Bjorn's
actually
car.
good, so
I know he is. Okay, I'll
You
turn it
just
back.
make us all look bad.
That's what he's there
Ah,
for.
here it comes. What the hell?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. PJ Max is writing to Max. I came up with a variant stitch which I posted on Discord. It involves wrapping the core thread around the needle before
Where's that stem?
piling the simple loop through. It makes it stretchy. It was quite cool to see. There's the one driving us. We're pretty much ready to go whenever you are. We just have to. But no, you want to throw an axe? We're having
Okay.
United States versus Norway versus
I
France.
think I'll try 1.5
Poland
rotation
came in and
instead
showed them
of
how it
2.
was done.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 more Polish people joining me. Yeah, I just noticed we went about 7 minutes over, but we can go. You want to play?
I was just one throw. I will go.
Okay, yeah. One throw and then we're good.
Where are you going?
He's gonna drive us home. We threatened to give him a beer if he did.
Oh.
Poland's not doing very well, Pavel.
Wait. 1 week off and yeah.
Go on. 1 week. 1 week and I'm weak.
Did they change the target though? Because I usually screw up when they change the target.
Yeah.
It takes me about, I don't know, a couple.
Oh.
No, I'm pretty sure that's on camera.
Magic.
Okay, Karl, one more axe and then we'll go so that he can drive us home. Yeah. And then yes, Saturday 6:30 we should be able to be on again. Yeah, Karl?
So let's try 2 rotations.
2 rotations.
I am absolutely not good at this, but nah.
That did not go well. PJ's going to get toast, hot X bun, and get a drink back in 5.
They are not marching.
You want to film this?
Okay, yeah, there we go. Woohoo! That's the other Polish guy.
They obviously come from different parts of Poland.
Yeah. This is why I'm so good at it, because I've got Polish heritage from the United States and living in Norway. Can't do a damn thing about France, though, sorry. Oh, no, Pavel. How come Karl's the only Viking after all? I just
He
noticed.
drank more than everybody.
He did.
And didn't even invite us. And he missed the party.
No, you gotta come on YouTube next Saturday, then we're gonna bring beer again.
Then I have to swing by the Vinmonopolet when I'm in Selja.
Yeah,
but,
you do. We're running low on your stash. Yep.
I can do that. So
France came to play.
next time we can have a lot of drunk people.
Yeah, we could do that. Okay. All right. Anyway, but I didn't catch up at chat at the last minute, but we will see. So next Saturday, 6:30, fireside chats with Karl, or more axe throwing.
Yep.
If we bring beer, they will come. Yes, read into that. Okay. All right. Have a good
And
day.
if Vlad is still here, we can maybe convince him to bring his practice swords.
He might be here, but I don't think so. He's coming back.
I know he's going back and forth, and I don't really have the overview.
Oh, Sophie says loves you. Bye. Okay. See you next Saturday. Bye-bye. Whoop, there. Ah, can't do this without covering me.